All right, thank you for staying with the morning show this Saturday morning. And like we said earlier, it's time for our first discussion, which is an interesting one, opportunity for families. Now, beyond the screens, this holiday can be a time to build healthier habits, strengthen family bonds, and help children grow physically, mentally, and emotionally. So joining us, we are joined online by Dr. Ayo Media to educate millions on children's health and bring us this Saturday morning. Hello. Good morning. Okay. I think the nation started. But yeah, summer holidays, it's something that is always something that, I mean, back in the day, it used to be more about travel.
Yes. Dances, spend time with other cousins and all of that.
Yeah.
In some places, yes, but not that much. And then there's always this notion that you must be ready to provide more meals than the regular meals they would have eaten when they, during school session, and they want to eat like every hour or every 2 hours and all of that, especially when you have to engage the children, you keep pointing them, oh, go and watch your cartoon. It's not really advised and healthy for us to keep telling the children to go watch TV, to go watch cartoons, because sometimes, exactly. So if you're not so careful, you may be exposing you if you're not being conscious of what they are watching. Nice to have a pediatrician. Of course, we know a pediatrician is children's doctor. We tried to get a psychologist, but he had to be at another engagement, so that's why he couldn't be here. So we thought there should be other things children can get engaged. So you could develop an itinerary, see it as a period for yourself. You have some targets to meet up with, but we should also be conscious. So what information is coming to them at this period. So that is why we think this would be a good opportunity to talk about that.
Okay.
Do we have Dr.
All right,
Rena back?
Very valuable information coming to you as regards that topic. So we'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Sticks, business, sports, and more on LN 24/7. Where the story goes, we go.
LN 24/7 lights up your day with unbeatable shows that guarantees absolute access to stories that revolves around politics, entertainment, and sports. Breaking news, plus detailed reports and analysis. At LN 24/7, where the story goes, we go.
What can you do to cause a positive change in your community, city, or nation? Today we have Anthony Oteta, a tricyclist who gives free rides to students and elderly around Ogun on his inspiration, aspirations, and reflections.
Never recognized me, but I will still prove myself that God, because when I die, I will not take anything to heaven. I will leave everything here. Everything will not listen to them. Maybe hold up or anything. So I will face students first. After finishing students, I know everywhere is clear. There is no student on the way. There is a day that last man arrest me. For me to pick a student, he cannot cross. And I'm coming, I'm discharging passenger. Until I move, I still saw him there. So I have to go and pick him. That is where they arrest me. I have to pay. And I said to myself, they say the girl should come that thing will not 5-7. I have to give them. Thank God me and that girl we caught. So when you come to my area where I'm living, number one, there is a lady, a friend came to call me around 2 o'clock a.m. What is the next thing now? He said, please, can you help me? I said, yeah. I said, to Rwanda. So that it will not be the problem. Fuel will never be my problem. I'll reserve the fare so that anytime you come to knock, I drive. I went to hospital. They accept him. They accept the girl. Then, and I come back home. The next morning, I went to him around 5 o'clock. I said, how far? My wife is selling granite. I'll bring out granite. We share, we chop. That is my joy. I need to help.
He's a driver. He assists me. The people around me, most times when I go with my friend, why trekking to school? Because you don't know my friend, you know me alone. I'm the only person you know, so let me trek in. Then you'll be like, come along with your friend, there's no problem. You can come along with your friend. There are so many students he does help. In fact, there are many of them that he has never met before. Just him seeing them on the road, you call to assist them, take them to school.
I attend Ojodu Junior High School grammar because sometimes I'll be coming back from school. Someone will be beating me, used to carry me and drop me at beggar side for free. That's why I just see him. And as I see him, he's a nice person because I'm not the only person that used to help. He's also help other children too.
They die because of us. Then for me to use equal, we can't be equal in this life. Nothing but people that are richer than me. And alone. Local government or state before the federal is not easy. Let's help ourselves. That is why I need to help, to contribute.
I've known Mr. Tony from 2000 living together, so I've known him as a good person since then till now. Because me myself, I'm a driver. Honestly, right now I'm at home. I'm not working, but he do sometime give me his machine to work just to make sure I see something to share it. So it's not only me. I know him very well.
I can remember when I traveled, I didn't have transport to come back. So I ran up village, I didn't get money. I run to my mother, there is no money. The guy now said, hey ma, how much is the money? I said, I need 40,000. The guy just done this for me. So he's very nice, very fantastic guy. I didn't have a job. When I came back, I didn't have a job. So he found a job for me. I pray for God to help me to find it.
I believe one day, God, where you are doing good, good will come. Where you are doing bad, unless God sends somebody that this is the guy, go and bless him, will bless me. And my own is my own. And one thing I always believe, again, God always saved my life free. If there is danger, I went there, I will pass. I have never one day have issue that take me to station. So I believe God will do it for me. My message to other people is to put hands together. We should not leave this Nigeria to one person. Whatever you are doing, if you don't have money, bless people with those things. Reduce their problem. You contribute to a problem. 400, I'm with 200. When you get there, I'll say, enter. I will even ask you where you drop. Is the money with you enough to take you to where you are going or not? You tell me your mouth, put down. I'm not worried. It's my work. If I like, I work. I will ask you, give you. I'm not trying you that or just freak you or any other thing. So I'll ask you, you tell me yes, the money is not enough. I'll remove money, I'll give you. Or you ask me, bros, I'm hungry. I don't want to hear anything hungry. Anybody tell me I'm hungry and I have. If it is the last thing I have, I will share it. Eat, let's eat. Or I'll bring it out, we'll eat together if you love me. Or if you don't want, I'll share it for you. I'll make sure you eat. Some people face a challenge because of hunger. When you are hungry, your system is not okay. It can cause you to do anything. That is why I need to help to reduce those things.
Thank you for staying with us. Hope you did enjoy that feature while we got things ready. Talking about the summer holidays and how children, helping children thrive this summer. We're looking at activities beyond the screen. And like we told you earlier,
Hi, good morning, everyone.
Indeed, we can hear you now. Okay, so let's get straight. Parents and guardians maybe in a more constructive and productive manner. How big of a challenge is that for parents in this time and age?
It's a significant challenge, and I think it's a very important topic that we've raised here this morning. There are screens that are out there in the sun. It's a huge, as we know, the recommendation for screen time is that there should be 6 minutes of screen time in a day. We know that this is not the reality for a lot of reasons. Engaged, and out of your hair for a few hours until lunch is ready, so that you get the opportunity to do other things. But you see, that really is not a very constructive way to less attentive, because it's fast. See a lot of shows that children watch well, and life is really not that fast-paced or that brightly colored. Also, screen times close to bed can actually interfere with sleep. The sedentary nature of long nights, which can also particularly if that's what they are accustomed to. So what we're discussing, children spend their time more constructively. So those are the challenges with them, excessive screen time, and how those hours can just be spent glued and stuck to the within eye view of a screen.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Reda. So what are those alternatives, or what is the alternative to screen time? Behind the camera, we screens at all, and you just mentioned it, that children below 2 years. How is the mom going to cope?
It's a huge challenge. I mean, it really is one of the most difficult things to ask a parent structure. So, like as if screen time is entirely bad, because screen time really can be constructive with educational material, very valuable educational material being available to have constructive screen time when there's educational material being viewed to screen time. There is no better alternative than a book. I think we're losing the culture of reading books that you can flip through, paper in your hand, and paper in your hands. And I think children should still actually enjoy that, which we enjoyed growing up, flipping through picture books, reading things like, the famous 5 or whatever else it is that we read when we were growing up. And having a structure, I think, is very key. And I think most parents would agree with me that a structure prevents unplanned activities that draw up the same way routines are drawn up for during school time. The same routine should be drawn up. Everything: nutrition, exercise, screen time, healthy life, exercise, sleep, and every other thing. One cannot emphasize that enough. Now, activities for children that are alternatives to screen time, of course, are very age dependent. So for the preschoolers, that is those who are generally considered to be less than 5, educational toys, traditional toys for play are great ideas. I did see this, come across this post on Instagram where a mother had frozen a lot of toys inside it, and they'd spend hours doing that. For some, they'd hang a few balloons from the fan, and then, switch on the fan, and then the balloons will be rotating, slowly, and then they tire themselves out, and educational activities that parents can actually craft, of course, doing safely with a very blunt, instruments. And the structure is so important to say that when we expect that and children will differ in terms of their capacity to stick to a particular task, and so you should know your child's capacity to stick out a particular task and then decide when to switch to what task, and this should be planned well in advance to avoid of course, we do know that there are a ton of summer camps in existence, right now, and they can offer things like financial literacy, things like sports, swimming, language, as well as Spanish language summer camp. Things like activities can include exercise, sports, cleaning in the kitchen. That's really never out of place. So these are the things, but plan, I'd say.
Very interesting. You've almost said it all. And I like the fact that you mentioned that it's good for us to have a pre-plan, not just all of a sudden that you're wondering what should I do with all of this, time and energy that these children have running all over the whole place? Now, let's go back to their holidays. They just want to eat at every hour on the hour. They want something, munching and all of that. So what would you advise? And, for a mom that has toddlers, what should be the healthy or nutrition?
Nutrition is everything. And the truth is that, again, nutrition also requires that one makes plans for what the children will eat. And option, again, I don't, so again, the idea of, unhealthy food is really interesting because technically all food is considered to be safe. For it to be labeled as being food, it's safe. It's just that the problem is that eating certain foods in certain quantities and at certain frequencies is a little bit. And so while they might make it onto the plate, you want to keep them using them as treats just once in a while. And if those things are what are available in the fridge, I always ask parents that, I'm sure that this child did not go out to go and buy that meat pie by themselves. I'm sure it's something like a snack. So you probably eat it, because if it's in your fridge, they will eat it. And would when they are in school, then they turn to snacking as an alternative activity. And they snack so often that you think that you are raising carnivorous individuals and the number of snacks. I think where a lot of people might miss the mark in terms of healthy options are the snacks. And it's so easy to get the high sugar, high fructose corn syrup, high saturated fat options, because then they get the children out of your, hair for a few hours, the juices.
Just lost the connection there.
Okay, there seems to be a bit of a network. Yeah. Okay, we'll see.
And then, of course, I've had nieces and nephews that are told the thing, while you are able to do some other things that are, very personal. Go grab whatever is in the fridge, all those kind of things. And like, if today is your first time you're hearing about, okay, you can pre-plan the children's holiday. So they're starting off now. Plan it, sit down. You guys can even come together, plan the activities together. What would they be doing in the morning? Inculcate morning exercises and all of those kind of things. And
what options are available for you as the parents. Rana also said some can send them all those kinds of.
That's what the older kids
have. In certain communities, parents even plan together, and say, okay, I understand that we have got Dr. Rana back. Thank you so much for staying with us.
I think that snacks, tend to be the place where parents actually falter a little bit, because it's so easy to just offer them really highly processed, sugary, snacks, including, foods that become less attractive to them. So I'd say from as early as possible, offer them the healthy alternatives like fruits and vegetables cut into very interesting shapes with healthy dips like nut butters, including that has been mixed with interesting sweeteners and a few spices, just to make the experience of snacking as interesting to them as possible. Generally, there are some children that are genuinely just uninterested in fruits and vegetables. You still offer them those fruits and vegetables, but in very creative ways, including smoothies, popsicles. Popsicles are absolutely brilliant way to make fruits and vegetables elevated, and then do a popsicle, challenge, and then make it exciting for them. So I'd say nutrition can be challenging, particularly for picky eaters. But once you have a timetable, a variety, and options to offer, then it makes the journey a little bit easier for you. I might not eliminate all the obstacles, but it definitely saves you a large amount of headache.
Thank you so much for how much exercise or active play should children be getting in a day? And, that in the context of outside, I wanted to talk about the fact that a lot of parents are not comfortable anymore letting their children play outside. Once they're back from school, they are cooped in and that's it. I remember in my day, we were allowed to go out, very tired. So talk to us about in that context, the children are playing with or what's happening to them outside, so we can understand that, navigate that terrain to,
Importance of physical activity cannot be overestimated or emphasized between the people that are engaged in the physical activity. If it is a multi-person activity, it also improves mood. It aids with sleep because a tired person, a person who is tired from active play, is likely to sleep better, is likely to have a better appetite, is less likely to develop obesity, and it's also recommended very strongly for children of all ages. And what a lot of populations will say is that children should get at least an hour of exercise in a day. The point that you have made about the reluctance of parents to let children out into the streets on account of security challenges and considerations is very valid. And the parents are not admitted to have these physical activities that do not require you going out. If you do have access to a playground or a field of some sort within your premise, within the estate in which you live, that would be absolutely brilliant. To just go, I think, is absolutely brilliant because it also helps to expose them to some sunlight, which can help them to produce vitamin D, which is a great immune protector. So, skipping is a great of really, really interested in those sorts of things. So just get them in skipping rope. Once if you have many children and you get them to do it once or twice, that one where somebody stands at each end of the skipping rope and somebody skips in the middle and there's a play. We played sway growing up where we draw those things in the lines in the I played sway. So those activities, I think, are great activities to help children to bond and to help them to still get in some physical activity. A great way for you to get those steps in, and they're just as importantly going to be picked up and then coming back in the evening and not getting that much physical activity. And a lot of schools these days actually don't have such large compounds, and there might be slides and a few things here and there, but a field in which to run and feel the wind in their hair, one can make up for the absence of that with creative activities like skipping.
And get Dr. Ayodele back. Of course, he would land on his thoughts, and then we'll probably have a final question with him.
Absolutely.
Hopefully, we get him back quite quickly. When you were saying about the game estates, that you cannot really go outside and all of those kind of things, then you just have to really make do with what is available. But it's all good. We'll make do with what is available.
Definitely. So it was between academic activities and moving back.
Yes.
All right.
We can wrap this up.
Yes. So just to cover, the network decides to engage us in physical activity is that we should actually endeavor to, even if you don't have a huge space, endeavor.
Okay. All right. So yes, important for the child is more academic activities. So they have extra classes, summer coaching, lesson, or for their children to just relax and more off. Now we're talking the summer holidays. What do you
can achieve a balance with the two, and the children excel academically. However, for children, because again, play is serious business for children. It's sharper because it improves their skills of problem solving, memory, learning, retention of new information, collaboration, emotional intelligence. And I think soft skills, their brain is most attuned to getting that intensity during the holidays as they do during the actual school session. And I think that is unfortunately not the best thing to do. There's a reason why it's called a holiday. They are supposed to be relaxed and on holiday, and they've still got to go to work. So I think for a lot of parents, those academic sessions and classes are a placeholder for them to have somewhere for the child to go to the day, but neither the father or the mother is on a break. They are not going to take leave if extra lessons or extra classes. However, if you can are enjoyable and not necessarily burying their noses in a book, then that would be a great way to balance out academic advancement during the holidays versus play and enjoyable activities. And I think parents should just find a way of making that balance, not begrudging them the idea that the children still have to be somewhere during the holidays because they are.
Okay, thank you so much. We truly appreciate your time. But now they have options. Now there are different things that they can do and convey that is still a lot of fun for the child. Thank you so much, Dr. Ayo. That's the Noisy Niger pediatrician using social media to educate. We hope to have you back some other time.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye then.
Yes. Okay, so there you have it. Yes. You know, it's so key, but at the end of the day, if there's something that I come away with from this discussion, or any form of holiday, you already know it's coming. What is your plan? What have you lined up? What are you going to do? Are you going to plan with some other parents so you could have like a joint? You know, there's some families that just like, okay, my children, they're going to stay at yours for this week,
exactly,
maybe the other week we kind of
switchovers and all of those
like you said, take them to the library, let them start reading. There is 1,001 things.
A lot of things they can do.
Absolutely. So it's in the planning. You decide. And how about asking them?
What would you like to do?
What more than the device or the laptop? And happy. And you'd be the happier for it as well. Exactly. So I hope that helped. Okay, so we'll go on another break. When we return, there will be more this morning, so do stay tuned.
From Lagos to Lome, Port Harcourt to Accra, LN247 delivers your brand across borders, TV, satellite, and online. We're where your customers are.
For them to, be seen or heard, they have to do something crazy.
Africa is watching. Let them watch you. LN247.